आज थोड़ा ट्यून चेंज करता हूँ। जय राधा माधव। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर हरे। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर हरे। जय राधा तब कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर हरे। बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर हरे। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना हे राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ तेरे घर ठारे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ तेरे घर ठारे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन तेरा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे राम हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hari 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 Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Stottarshata Shishimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Deputy Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Shri Radha Rasa Bihari Bhagavan ki Shri Sita Rama Lakshman Hanuman ji ki Shri Gaura Nithai Bhagavan ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled. Hare all glories to assembled. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devi saraswati vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu atreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandalaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 1, Chapter number 3, entitled as Krishna is the source of all incarnations. And the text number 10. Panchamaha Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Uvacha Suraye Sankhya Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Uvacha Suraye Sankhya Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchamo Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Uvacha Suraye Sankhya Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Vacha Suraye Sankhya तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्
पंचम कपिलो नाम सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम् प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम् तत्त्वग्राम विनिर्णयम्
पंचम कपिलो नाम सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम् प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम् तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्
पंचमो कपिलो नाम
पंचम कपिलो नाम
देशकाल विप्लुतम्
सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम्
वाचा सुरये सांख्यम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
तत्त्वग्राम विनिर्णयम्
तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्
पंचमा कपिलो नाम
पंचम कपिलो नाम
सिद्धेशकाल विप्लुतम्
सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
तत्त्वग्राम विनिर्णयम्
तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्
पंचमा कपिलो नाम
पंचम कपिलो नाम
सिद्धेशकाल विप्लुतम्
सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
तत्त्वग्राम विनिर्णयम्
तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम् ललिता माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण। पंचमा कपिलो नाम
पंचम कपिलो नाम
सिद्धेशा काल विप्लुतम्
सिद्धेश काल विप्लुतम्
प्रोवाच सूरये सांख्यम्
प्रोवाच सुरये सांख्यम्
तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्
तत्त्वग्रामा विनिर्णयम्। Word to word translation. Panchamaha, the fifth one. Kapilaha, Kapil. Nama, the name. Siddheshaha, foremost amongst the perfect. Kala, time. Viplutam, lost. Provacha, said. Asuraye, to the Brahman named Asuri. Sankhya, metaphysics. Tattvagrama, the sum total of the creative elements. Vinirnayam, exposition. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. The fifth incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is the foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahman. For in course of time, this knowledge has been lost. Purport. The sum total of the creative element is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of the material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapil, who is said herein to be the fifth in line of incarnations. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Slitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Madhav Sagana Varita Sri Vishnakanvitamscha He Krishna Karma Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 1, chapter number 3, and the text number 10. And today we are discussing about the fifth incarnation of the Lord. Today I didn't forget the count because Srimad Bhagavatam only itself mentioned it's a fifth incarnation. So, although our intelligence is very less, Srimad Bhagavatam especially meant for us. That proves it that although we forget many things, Srimad Bhagavatam makes sure that we will not forget Krishna. So this Panchama avatar of the Lord is a Kapila Dev actually. And Kapila Dev is actually from the lineage of Brahmana as well as was a lineage of king. So Kardama Muni and Devahuti was the son of them. And then Kapila Muni, explicitly in Srimad Bhagavatam also, the teachings of Lord Kapila will come. When he's giving those teachings to Devahuti, when his father leaves Kardama Muni, he takes a Vanaprastha, and now Devahuti is all alone. So in order to, anyhow, she is a pure devotee of the Lord, but in order to enlighten her, Lord Kapila has given this, Lord Kapil has given this Sankhya philosophy to his mother, the Devahuti, and that will be very nicely explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in coming cantos. And especially Srila Prabhupada has written the book on that, Teachings of Lord Kapil. So there are like 4 books of Srila Prabhupada, which is like this. One is Teachings of Lord Kapil, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Teachings of Queen Kunti, Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, as well as Sanatan Shiksha and Rupa Shiksha is there. But these are like 4 very much prominent teachings to Lord Sanatan, to Sanatan Goswami. That is also book. But Srila Prabhupada very explicitly, now there is like purports, whatever Prabhupada has written, the same purport is there. But Srila Prabhupada again elaborated on those concepts within those books, and very wonderful book. Especially the teachings of Lord Queen Kunti. It's one of the very nicest book by Srila Prabhupada. So whenever I hear about this book, Teachings of Queen Kunti, I remember one pastime of a book distribution. I told it previously, this pastime, but still we will discuss it again and again. right? For our own purification and for my own purification. So in foreign countries, the book distribution happens little bit a very different way. It is quite active, and people, hey, you want book? See, there is a book, and they will stand on a footpath and they will approach like that. There was a devotee also. He used to do like that Rajnikant tricks like that, and he used like person is coming, he will go and suddenly show book like this, and people used to get attracted. So that happens in foreign. We can't do it in Bharat because culturally it's quite different. So there was one man who was standing on a footpath, and every day he used to give books. So mainly all the devotees in all over the world, whenever they distribute book, they show Bhagavad Gita, they show Krishna book, either they show Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is also little rare, but Krishna and Bhagavad Gita book, it's a very common which we show it to the people. Okay, this is the book. Do you want to take it? Right? So in that way, this person was also showing the book. And one lady, she's like almost in her middle age, like 30s to 40s, like that. She used to pass by every day from the same street, same time. And whenever she used to observe this person, she was kind of disgusted with these people. You ISKCON people, Hare Krishna people, standing on the street and doing the business of book. Okay. So that kind of a feeling naturally it comes for many people. And when I joined Brahmachari Ashram, my one of the brother was like little bit, see, you do anything, whatever you want, but just I don't want to see you while distributing the books on the stations and the platforms and the footpaths. I can't see that. Okay. So see, that is a part of my service to the Lord, distributing the book. But I make sure that I will do it very professionally. So rather than distributing it on a footpath or on a platform, we distributed it in companies. So I fulfilled my desire and I fulfilled his desire also. So this person used to show book, but that lady was so disgusted with this, and every day she used to look towards that person as a very hatred way. And many months has been passed. All of a sudden, one day on a Sunday, at the same time when that person, that devotee was there standing on that footpath or the pavement sidewalk, this Mataji all of a sudden she approached this devotee. And after approaching, she was like, hey, I want book, I want book. What happened to you suddenly? She said, I want a book called Teachings of Queen Kunti. And he was shocked. Generally, Teachings of Queen Kunti is not that kind of a common book which we show to the people or which we take it for the distribution. Right? It's mostly Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or like an introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, ek Anupama Bhet, the matchless gift. That kind of a book we take, not like the teachings of Queen Kunti. He got little bit bewildered. How you know about the teachings of Queen Kunti? Who told you about that? She said last 1 week, one very divinely beautiful lady in her 50s, she was coming into my dream. She was a queen, the very silken robes, very simple but very elegant jewelry and a crown on her head with a little whitish hair. And she used to come, she was so beautiful. Every day she was telling only one thing to me. See, you, I want that you should go to that devotee and ask for the book of Queen Kunti. You just go and ask for Queen Kunti's book. And the last day, yesterday, I asked her, who are you and why you are telling me to buy such kind of a book from that devotee? She said, that's my book. I am that Queen Kunti. And if you read that book, your life will get changed. So that devotee has given that book to Mataji next day, Teachings of Queen Kunti. She read that book, and by the fortune and the blessings of Queen Kunti, she became a devotee. So we don't know Krishna has, placed the fortunate situation for each and every person. As soon as the time comes and the divine arrangement comes, naturally what happens? That person gets the blessing from the Lord and his devotees. And naturally, he gets a devotional service into his life. So, Lord Kapila, his book is also the teachings of Lord Kapila, and in which the Sankhya philosophy has been mentioned. Sankhya philosophy means the analysis of the material elements. This entire material creation has made by 24 elements. What are those 24 elements? First is the creational gross elements, which is earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay. In English, Bhumi, Apo, Nala, Vayu, Kham. Okay. These are the 5 gross elements. Then there are 5 working senses. What are those 5 working senses? Hands, legs, anus, genital, and uh, working. Oh, no, that is knowledge acquiring. I forgot. What is the karmendriya? It's a legs, hands. After that, Gurudwara, genital. But I forgot. Okay. Fifth, then 5 knowledge acquiring senses: eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and the skin. Okay. Then the sense object of the senses, which is touch, vision, smell. Then after that, form is there, and touching. Vision. I say. Shravana, our sound. These are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Then the 3 are the subtle elements, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then the creational element, which is also called as Mahat or Prakriti. These are the 24 elements by which there is a 25th element also, which is the Lord and the Jivatma. They are also there, but these are the 24 elements which are the material elements. Jivatma and Lord can't be into material things. Okay, so one karmendriya is remaining. You can find out which karmendriya is remaining. Voice. Voice is not karmendriya.
Body, body.
It's a mouth.
Heart, pair,
Move.
the or limb.
Move. Like your mouth is actually karmendriya, and voice is that subtle sense object. It's a sense object. Voice is a sense object. Okay, so these are the 24 elements, and people do the Sankhya Yoga people, they do the analysis. How this is created, how from Mahatattva everything came down, then how from Agni the form has been form came, from earth, the smell came, and like that they do the analysis of all those 24 elements. Okay, that's nice, doing the analysis and understanding how the material world has been created. But what is the conclusion of that? What is the conclusion of doing the analysis on the material elements, these 24 elements? What will be the conclusion? Conclusion is very common, we know it already. It's all temporary, it's all material, and beyond this, there is another thing to realize, which is the spiritual objects. Okay, that is what supposed to be the conclusion. That material world is temporary. This is made from all of this, and actually there is a world beyond that. So Sankhya Yoga people, they do lot of analysis just to understand how the 24 elements, material elements, actually work in this material world. But ultimately, the conclusion has to be same, which is the ultimate devotional service at the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then, what is the use no, to have so much of analysis? Most of the time in material world, it is analysis to paralysis. Too much analysis leads to paralysis. Oh my God, this material element that gets into converted into that element, and this material element will work like this and that. My God, and after that, what? Nothing. The ultimate thing is to understand I am not made from this 24 material elements. I am the transcendental Satchidananda Jivatma as a part and parcel of the Lord. And in Bhakti Yoga, we already have that conclusion. So that's why Bhakti Yoga is the king of all the yogas, whether it is Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, whichever may be the yoga. So all these yogas, if we want the ultimate conclusion and ultimate wants to have the ultimate goal of these yogas, all the yoga processes, there has to be element of a bhakti yoga within all these yogas. Until and unless there is no touch of bhakti in all other yogas, there can't be the achievement of goal for all those yogas. So that's why king of the all yogas is actually Bhakti. So rather than going for all these metaphysical elements and the 24 elements and doing the analysis of all those things, it's very nice and it's very simple to do 20 devotional service. Now it's seems so difficult, that first the false ego has been created. From the false ego, the intelligence has been come. From intelligence, the mind has come. And then there were the five material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether has been created. From earth, the smell has created, and from then there is a uh, earth, water. Water has created. From water, the taste has come out. After water, there is a fire. From fire, form has created. Then after fire, there is a vayu. From vayu, sound has created, and from sound, the ether has created, and from ether has come vision. So that is like all things has been mentioned, and so actually it's very difficult. Although I read Bhagavatam six, uh, 3 times, but still it's so complicated. Of course, we understand, we know the sequence, and we will come to know all those things. But still, it doesn't give that taste. So that's why devotional service is so simple for all of us. Our intelligence is so tiny actually, and soon after the 18th chapter of the first canto, definitely. Uh, sorry, 19th chapter of first canto, you will understand very nicely that really our intelligence has some limits. When the second canto will start, and there is a lot of analytical study, and it's very difficult to digest. Yes. So remember one thing, Srila Prabhupada's purports are so beautiful that whatever may be the, uh, it's not like that, but Prabhupada, whichever, even if a very hard subject matter is there or a concept is there, Srila Prabhupada makes it such a digestible for all of us. And especially all the conclusions of Srila Prabhupada, they comes towards Bhakti Yoga. Srila Prabhupada makes us know all those concepts very digestible in our life. That's a beauty. That's why Acharya, especially today's Acharya, is very important. Yeah. In order to have, okay, Acharya Guru Padashray is very much required in order to devotional service. So I want who my favorite is Rupa Goswami. I will follow him. I will follow his shiksha. But most of the time, whatever he wrote, that cannot be applicable for you because it was written during before 500 years back. And even it is understandable to us, it's not digestible to us because during that time the level was different. Rupa Goswami Path's level was different, and the concept where the way it was explained might be the different. But present Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, he understands what exactly our situation is by giving the examples and the analogies which are very fit and practical in the 21st century. Srila Prabhupada has given this purpose to us. So that's why, though all the concept of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhagavad Gita is very much digestible and very much understandable for us being in the 21st century. Right? So that's why the present Acharya Vrindas are very much required. in order to make us understand what is the actually concept is. Okay. Or even if we don't accept, we want somebody who is a very much 500 years back or 600 years back. Whether right now, whatever they have written, I am following in my life, whether it is perfectly or not perfectly, to have that mapadanda, or in order to have the analysis of that, I will not be deviated from the path which has been given by acharyas. To make us understand that, we require some kind of a guidance. That's why the very much physical guide and this physical guru is very much required for that particular purpose. So Kapila Muni, although he has given Sankhya philosophy, still we will be very much remain strict to the principle of Bhakti Yoga, because for us it is very much required, right? In, I think the Kapila Muni's teachings comes in the third canto, teachings of Lord Kapila will come. So in that section, we will definitely have elaborate understanding of what is actually the Sankhya Yoga, how it works, what kind of teachings has been given by Lord Kapila to Devahuti, Twin Devahuti. So that will be definitely given to us, right? Even after coming to devotional service, we do a lot of analysis of, people sometimes they are so intellectual that they do what they do is actually doing analysis, applying logics to each and everything. It's nice to have logics, applying logics to us, but most of the time in devotional service, more than the logics, the sincerity of following the path is very much required. Otherwise, we will become so dry speculator. Too much analysis and too much logical thinking leads us to dry speculation, and too much into a kind of a rasa aspect, or too much into, you know, without understanding philosophy only just because I've been told, so I'm doing. It leads us to a sentimentalism, or leads us to a lack of faith and trust in the given process, because I don't have that foundation of Shastra, that what I am doing, why I am doing. Just because I love this particular devotee, or I like this person, and he told me that I should follow this. That's why I'm chanting. And what happens when that devotee or that person will have some kind of a bad relation with us, or in due course of time, if some kind of a little bit grudges gets developed within your relationship, will you give up devotional service? No, just like while joining the Brahmacharya ashram, one of the very senior devotee has asked this question to each and every one of us. Who is your inspiration in Brahmacharya ashram? So we were like, oh, we saw this particular person, and because of this person, I'm joining Brahmacharya ashram. And the next question was very heavy. What if you tomorrow you come to know that particular devotee wants to graduate from the Brahmacharya ashram and go for the Grastha ashram? What you will do? And most of the devotees were speechless. Oh no, Prabhuji, it will not. How he can? Anything can happen in this material world. What you will do? I said, no, Prabhuji, I just saw him only, and because of him only, I got the inspiration. So rather than most of the time in our devotional service, if we get too much into the person worship, it also leads a lot of trouble into our life, right? So rather than getting attached to the person worship, only this is my inspiration, because of him I am doing devotional service, and once he goes away from devotional service, I will also go from devotional service. This is what a lack of faith, lack of trust in this devotional service on a sentimental level. That's why too much logics, too much dry speculations, or too much into emotions, both things are not good. We have to have a balance between both of them. Okay? Even if we are getting inspired from a particular person, but still the foundation of our devotional service should be the principles of a Shastra. What Shastra is saying, Why I am supposed to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Why am I supposed to read Srimad Bhagavatam? Why I am supposed to do what I am supposed to do in the devotional service? So, what is required? But why is our most important thing. So, that's why having the foundation of the Shastras is very much important. Any Acharya of any Sampradaya you take, the first thing which they do is writing the books. Sri Ramanujacharya wrote Sri Bhashya, Nimbakacharya wrote his own books, Vishnu Swami wrote his own books. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us Sarartha Dipika, Sarartha Darshini and Sarartha Varshini, commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Baldev Vidyabhushan gave us a Govinda Bhashya. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has wrote so many books. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote so many books. Each and every Acharya wrote so many books. Even the Lord himself wrote the books in the form of Vyasadeva. So why is it so? Just to have our foundation very much clear. The concepts has to be very clear. That's why after coming to devotional service, when we surrender ourselves in ISKCON to a particular guru, the first thing they give us is, while if we want to take an initiation, they say you should do IDC first, ISKCON disciple. So basic concepts about the principle or the tattva of Guru gets clear. When you want to have a Brahmana Diksha, even though you don't want to take Brahmana Diksha, but very much require that everyone should do Bhakti Shastri. Because Bhakti Shastri covers the very basic Shastras which is given by our Acharya, that is Bhagavad Gita, Ishopanishada, then Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Upadeshamrita. These four books are very much covered into that. So our basic philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism becomes very much clear.